attorney's the only one. Oh, yeah, I got a text her. I've been emailing her. I just.
Yeah, she texted me about 15 minutes ago to say she wanted to listen in, but I haven't got to that point. Where is he? Give it a couple.
Okay, we're live. Okay, we'll call this September 12th regular council meeting to order. And our first session back from summer, we will start on a somber note. I'm sure everyone's aware of the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And as a community, we were obviously deeply saddened to learn of her passing. The long reign of Queen Elizabeth II was marked by her strong sense of duty and her determination to dedicate her life to her throne and to her people. Amazing woman. Just so council's aware, the community is aware, our flags will be at half-mast until sunset on the day of the memorial service, which I believe has been announced now. And we as a municipality are following all of the provincial protocols outlined by the province. And you may notice our likeness of the Queen tonight is draped with a black drape. So that's one of the protocols. So in remembrance and honor of our past Queen, I would ask you join me in a moment of silence, please. Thank you. First order of our agenda is always adopting our agenda. We do have a second in-camera item, so we would add that to the agenda. If there's a councillor willing to put a motion on the floor, Councillor Reid.
Adoption of the agenda as presented with the amendment of the second in-camera item.
Thank you. Any discussion? Don't see any. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. I should note that Councillor Federico is away this evening, as you can see by her absence. Second order of business, minutes, previous minutes. Councillor Flowers, you're generally up. Thank you.
I will make the motion to approve the minutes from July.
Okay. All those in favor of the minutes from the last meeting? That carries. Would note there is a second motion there to cancel our September 26th regular council meeting. Instead, we will be having that SETI workshop. Need a motion to do that as per our procedural bylaw. Councillor Flowers, you may as well continue.
I move that we cancel the September 26th council meeting in order to do the SETI workshop.
Yeah. Regular meeting of council. Perfect. Okay. Any discussion on that? No? Pretty straightforward. It's in our calendars. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Delegations. We don't have any. Bylaws. We don't have any. business, Cochrane Age Friendly, Mr. Ham.
Good
Good
evening, Council.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Council. If you recall from last week, we, at the Committee of the Whole meeting on September 6th, we brought forward the Age Friendly project for discussion. What we're asking from Council is to support a letter of commitment of the Age Friendly project going forward and developing the framework for the project.
Okay, thank you for your brief presentation. As per our Committee of the Whole, Council should be well aware of what we're asking tonight. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will move the recommended action that council provide a letter of commitment for the Cochrane Age Friendly program. And thank you for your presentation of our last meeting. I think this is a step in the right direction.
Okay, thank you for that. Motion's on the floor. Councillor Flowers, you have a comment?
One question. When does a resolution need to be put forward then?
There will be no resolution. It will be a letter of commitment.
Oh, okay.
The resolution will come later in the project.
I see. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Flowers. Councillor Reid?
Yeah, thank you for that presentation last week. And just for the public record, what financial commitment will the town have as a result of this resolution?
Through the chair to Councillor Reid, thank you for the question. For the time being, we'll be looking for a resource ask for the 2023 budget. But currently we are working with Calgary Foundation and 3 potential grant opportunities to fund that in the 2023 budget.
Great, thank you. I think that's important that it be recorded that way.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Reid. Don't see any other comments. Call the question. All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you, Mr. Ham.
Thank you.
Next, we have some committee appointments. To the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board specifically. Ms. Knight.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. As you know, any of our public at large vacancies on any of committees of council are brought to you for consideration and appointment. Normally we would wait for these types of appointments, but with the increase in appeal board applications, we are running the risk of not meeting quorum with this committee should we not fill these 2 vacancies at this time. So we are requesting that council look at the applications, and if you would like to go in camera to discuss those, we're certainly recommending that may be an option council wants to consider. And then we have our ballots for this evening for council to vote on those applications. I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Okay, council, as per our usual protocol, I would look for a motion to go in camera. Councillor Nagel? All those in favor? That's carried. Take a bit of a recess here, go in our antechambers and talk
Yep. Lee is doing that now.
Okay, we're streaming again. We'll call the meeting back to order. Council, please indicate on your secret ballot which, if any, of the
Pardon me, Mayor,
candidates.
need a motion to come out of in camera.
Oh, sorry, yes. Motion to come up. Thank you, Deputy Mayor McFadden. All those in favor? Carried. Sorry, that procedural glitch there. Council, please indicate on the ballot your, if any, of the two candidates you wish to see serve on the SDAB, and Ms. Knight will collect them in front of us.
I can confirm after reviewing the ballots that Jessica Greenhow has been recommended for appointment as alternate, and Terry Ann Halmrust has been recommended for appointment as a regular member, and now all I require is a motion of council to such.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Knight. Councillor Nagel?
I move that we appoint the candidates as voted by secret ballot.
Effective September 12th, term to expire December 31st, 2024. Yeah. Okay. Any dialogue around that? No? Okay. All those in favor of that motion? That carries. Thank you, Ms. Knight. That concludes the business portion of tonight's agenda. We'll move into reports, I guess. I have a brief mayor's report. Obviously, after a break from summer, we did have our committee of the whole. I would just report that I've noticed an increase in email traffic. I've noticed an increase in community events and just a general increase in community positivity and busyness, I guess, which is a good sign. Businesses seem to be lined up, most anyways, that I'm seeing. And that's just good. The workload we're right back to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to report on anything that happened over the summer. I just would like to say I'm looking forward to our SETI workshop that's coming up on the 26th, 27th. The Alberta Munis Convention coming up in the fall next week. As part of that, there will be a mid-sized city mayors in-person meeting. And I'm also looking forward to updates from our administration, as I'm sure all of you are, as some of the emails that we've seen on the provincial policing discussion, the LGFF as it starts to loom forward, and just how we're going to position ourselves as a community in some of those decisions. But with that, looking forward to getting back to work, and well, I have already, neck deep in emails and lots of stuff going on in the community. So with that, Councillor Nagel, you have a council report?
Yeah, during the summer break, the SDAB reviewed an application you all may have heard of. It's with regards to the apartment building in River Heights, where about 400 units are being added in. And it's being done underneath land use designations that were granted like 15 years ago, but the residents knew nothing about. Now, I obviously can't comment on the decision that was issued by the SDAB. Everything's discussed in camera. It's a quasi-judicial committee. But I would say, as a council representative on the board, that it seems to me that there is a policy gap that was revealed through that process, in that there's not really any tool for the town of Cochrane to look at an issue like that, because I personally felt, this is not the board's words, but I personally felt that there was some interesting positions discussed during the hearing about the impact of traffic that needed to be considered. And there's these traffic impact assessments, but there isn't a lot of teeth behind regulations in those impact assessments. And I think council should take it upon ourselves to review how those traffic impact assessments are done, what criteria they're measured against, and a way that we can use them to better assess development proposals. And that's one piece of it. And the second piece is about the timing of developments. It's not just about this particular application, but in any instance where there needs to be some sort of timing considered regarding infrastructure, like should council feel that certain traffic projects need to be built before things can be built? Currently, there's no tools that I'm aware of for that to be done by the town of Cochrane. So there's kind of two policy gaps that I think council really needs to consider. I assume you all have heard about this problem, but this specific issue, but if you haven't, it's a pretty contentious issue. There's like a petition going around with 500 signatures on it. Residents feel very upset. At the same time, they feel that nothing is being done. They feel completely ignored, but it's an interesting issue. If anyone wants to talk about it more, please let me know.
Yeah, just further to that, Councillor Nagel, thanks for raising that. I had myself and members of administration have met with some of the proponents of the petition, I guess, that started it. Out of that, I was looking to do a formal statement just on facts. So look for that in the coming days of not trying to share an opinion, just sharing what has happened and transpired. I do appreciate your concern in those two areas, and I think we should ask administration on what can be done, and maybe we can look for an update on some of that in a committee of the whole meeting in the future. So just thought I'd throw that out there. There's a lot of misinformation that's going around too. I'd just like to list the facts. So I think that would help. It may not solve and give somebody everything they're looking for, but at least set the record straight that we didn't vote on something, we haven't changed anything. There's certain process that took place, whether that's the right process or not, but just outlining how that works. Okay, thank you. Councillor Flowers?
Thank you. Excuse me. I wanted to mention a couple things. Cochrane was busy this weekend with Culture Days going on, and I attended quite a few of the events and watched the Rotarians put up the teepee downtown. It was interesting. But there was a really well done weekend and really busy on the roads with the car show and all. The week before that, I was proud to go out to Morley and attend the powwow with Deputy Mayor McFadden. We were in the ceremony at the 1 p.m. on the Saturday and got introduced from the town of Cochrane, and it was a really beautiful event. If you get a chance to go to one, it's really awesome. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this weekend at previously called the Boys and Girls Club. They're now the BGC Cochrane and area, are celebrating their 30th anniversary. So they're having events all afternoon and evening starting at 3 p.m. It's free, open to the community, and well sponsored by a grant and many sponsors in the community. So I was proud to be part of the committee organizing it because I was around 30 years ago, if you can imagine, when it was called the Cochrane Youth Association, and I sat at somebody's kitchen table helping create the bylaws. I was a volunteer way back then. I just can't believe it's been 30 years. So they're in their 4th location, I guess, and they're looking for a bigger location. And of course, they've added on all kinds of programs through the before and after school care and the day home agencies. I think they have 75 day homes in the community. So they've grown to be quite a large organization and really worth celebrating. They've helped so many people over the years. So I encourage people that have been involved or just want to come and celebrate with the community, come on out and see what else is going on. They did form a letter of invitation to the alumni. I was just going to mention a couple of things that are going on. Face painting, temporary tattoos, a petting zoo, inflatable horse races, a DJ, live music, Indigenous drummers and dancers, balloon artists, free snacks, and much more. There's a movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, being played at 7 or at 8 o'clock whenever it gets dark because it's outdoors, and that was playing 30 years ago, so they chose it. So I just wanted to make that announcement. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Councillor Flowers. I think I have that in my calendar. Yeah. Councillor Reid?
Yeah, I just wanted to segue back to Morgan's concern about a traffic and an assessment. I think one of the things that I had taken away from a Glen Vista study was that not only was that traffic analysis based on American standards, but it was also very dated. And so I think there is something to be said for definitely looking at that traffic impact assessment study and the policy around it. Clearly, not only is it not working or appear to be not working in the south part of our town, but clearly it wasn't working in Glen Vista either. And again, just to repeat that, it was both dated and American in terms of its the standards that were set there. So I think there is something to be said there, and I would hope that that would be something administration could take a look at sooner than later.
Okay, I see everybody taking notes over there. I'm sure we'll get an update on that. Thank you, Councillor Reid. Any other need for council updates? No, okay. We do have 2 in-camera items. I would look for a motion to go in camera. Deputy Mayor McFadden, all those in favor? That carries. We'll take a brief recess to let the feed go away and clear the room, and we'll go in camera. Thank you.